Hello Synapse Fitness community and welcome to our stretch break video series. In this series and the video you are about to watch, we are going to be doing 3 to 4 stretches for one body area so that you can get the most out of your stretches in a quick amount of time. For each of those stretches, we are going to be holding for about 30 seconds for each side, but I encourage you that if you have the time, you play this video again so that you can get the most out of those stretches. But if not, stay tuned for a very brief stretching routine. Enjoy. In this stretching series, we are going to be working on stretches for our calf muscles and feet. So many people with Parkinson's describe having a lot of tightness and cramping in their lower legs, in their feet. Some people even have another condition called dystonia, which causes involuntary contractions of these muscles as well as other places in the body. And so this is a great quick routine to help stretch some of these muscles out. So we are going to be starting standing for this routine. I'm going to be using a hand support. You could be doing this up against a wall or another sturdy place in your home. The first thing I'm going to do is work on stretching the calf muscles. So I have gotten into this lunge position here. I have one leg back. The goal is that we are stretching that calf muscle, that lower leg muscle right there. So I want to get into a lunge type position, but supporting my balance. And the goal is to be leaning forward while keeping my heel on the ground back there so that I'm increasing that angle in my ankle. And go until you feel a stretch. That's going to be different for everybody. Some of you might need to really lean forward while keeping that heel on the ground. For others, it might barely be a lean, okay? So hold that position, and I am trying to keep my knee as straight as possible for this stretch. Good. So holding that. Also note that I am trying to keep my toes relatively pointed forward or in line with the direction that my body is going. A lot of times when people do this stretch, they have their foot turned off to the side while they do it, and it doesn't get the same level of stretch in that calf muscle. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Putting the other foot back. Again, trying to keep those toes pointed forward, getting a good amount of bending at that ankle as I lean forward. Should feel a pretty good stretch going on there. Again, if you don't, try readjusting a little bit and see if you can lean forward even more, increasing that ankle angle. Very good. Okay. Now for the next stretch, we're going to be staying here. I'm going to be using a book, and I'm going to be putting it on the floor to rest my foot on. Maybe not the best thing for my book, okay, but you can find something else. And I'm using a pretty hefty size book here. You could be using a box or a low threshold or step. You could go to an area in your home where you have something like that. And the idea here is that we're going to be putting our forefoot on top of that surface while trying to keep our heel down. Okay, so again, something not too high usually works best. And then I'm going to try to keep my knees straight as I come forward a little bit more. I'm going to move my chair. Ooh, and now I'm getting another good stretch in that calf muscle. Okay, so wherever this is best set up for you in your home, or whatever you find to use, just make sure that you're safe with it, that it's not going to slide out from underneath you while you do this stretch. Great. And let's go ahead and switch sides. Now remember, for any of these, you could pause the video, you could do it twice, you could hold it longer, or perhaps even just play the video again so that you get to hit each side another time. Now a little harder to see, but same thing. I have my forefoot on there, my heel down, and I am kind of leaning forward while trying to keep that knee straight back there, okay? Now, if this hurts your foot, the bottom of your foot, maybe because the edge of that book or whatever you're using is kind of pressing into the arch of your foot. Readjust a little bit, see if you can find a more comfortable position. Or you might actually want to do this wearing shoes. That might be more helpful for you as well. I have my shoes off because we're going to do things in a moment that require the shoes being off, and I don't want to waste time in the video taking them on and off, but you are welcome to play around with what feels best for you. Let's go ahead and switch back to the first side, but this time we're going to do it a little different. So again, my forefoot is on that surface, heel down, and this time I'm going to bend my knee while still kind of leaning forward. All right, this changes the muscle that we're stretching. There's actually two main muscles in our calf muscle. The gastrocnemius, which we were just stretching when we had our knee straight, and now we are focused more on stretching the soleus muscle. And so you might feel it a little different. One might feel tighter than the other. This stretch usually feels a little bit lower in that calf area. Good. And now we're going to go ahead and switch back over to the second side. Foot down. And bending at the knee. Great. Okay, so you get the idea of those stretches. Now we're going to go ahead and sit down and try some different activities for the feet and the calf muscles. Actually, mostly just the feet now at this point. So, from here now, I also encourage you to see if you can get those feet on the ground and lift up those toes. And then you can scrunch them. And lift, and scrunch, and lift, and scrunch. Also see if you can open the toes up wide, and then relax them. And open up wide, and relax. You can do some more of those at your own pace. We spend so much time with our toes crammed into shoes that we really don't give them the time to stretch out and see what that feels like. So great opportunity to do that, can really help with the muscle flexibility and less cramping in those toes. So now, if you have the flexibility, I want you to bring a foot up, and we're gonna stretch some more. I'm gonna take my toes and I'm gonna push them down so that I'm stretching out this top part of the foot and into the tendons of those toes. Oh, that feels good. And then I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna pull them up like so that I'm creating a bend in those toes, helping stretch out the bottom of the foot. Great, and then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go down, pulling them down. And pulling them up. Again, you could do this a few more times if you like. But for the sake of our video, we're going to keep moving on. We're going to go over to the other foot. We're going to hoist that leg up there if we can reach. If you can't reach, see if a friend or family member will help you with this. So I'm going to pull those toes down. See if they'll help you stretch out your toes, especially if you get a lot of cramping in your feet. This could be really helpful. Good. I'm going to pull up, making a bend in those toes. Pull up, pull up. And then I'm going to go back down. And back up. Notice I'm switching hands. Do whatever angle works best for you. All right, the last thing that I'm going to recommend is that if you have something at home like a tennis ball, a racquetball, something along those lines. I have this little pink ball here. It's actually meant for doing massage. It's got just a little bit of squish to it, okay, but a tennis ball works just fine. This is a great tool to use for self-massage. So you can put that down on the ground, put your foot on it, and start rolling your foot up and down through the arch, from the heel, down to the base of the foot, going side to side, working through those arches. Really just explore and see what feels good as you're doing this. And you can do that however long it feels good and switch and do the other side. This is a fantastic way to release tension in the feet. It also helps you to gain flexibility in your lower legs too, as you work the fascia in the bottom of the feet. Some people even freeze a water bottle and do it so that they have some ice on their foot if they're healing from an injury to their foot while they do a self-massage. So there are plenty of options out there and available. Okay, those are going to be your stretches and self-massage techniques to work your legs and feet. Hope that helps. This video is brought to you by Synapse Fitness Foundation, a nonprofit empowering people with Parkinson's to live their best lives through exercise, education, and connection to others. The presenter of today's video is Dr. Kelly Becker, physical therapist and founder of Synapse Fitness Foundation. If you found today's video useful, please click the like button and forward this video onto somebody that you think would find this useful. Thank you.